Now I gotta ride or die.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in a lovely location right outside my garage. It is December, I've just finished the gym, so I'm a little bit sweaty, but I cannot wait to show you guys what I picked up last night. Now, I really wanted to take you guys with me last night. It's sort of a spur of the moment thing. An offer was accepted on this specific car that I've been looking at for about a week, you know, 7 days it's been, and as you can see by the title, you know what it is. But hang around, because there's a few things I need to show you on this car. There's a few problems, of course. It's high mileage, it's very broken. Like, I drove it back. It is in a drivable state, but I'm not going to want to drive far in this thing. But if you do like this style of content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and a Merry Christmas as well, because I'm putting this out on Christmas Day. It's a few days actually before Christmas I've actually picked this up. I suppose this is a Christmas present at this point, so Merry Christmas to you guys, Merry Christmas to everybody that's out there, and hope you enjoy your holidays and drink and have a nice time. But let's see what utter pile of I've bought this time. But first off, how did we get here? We started off the year by buying a Fiesta ST. This thing was just the grottiest, most horrible ST you can find. Had a bit of mileage on it, the clutch wasn't working, but we took a punt, sight unseen, pretty much bought it on the spot. We then cleaned that up, made it really nice, and moved on, selling that and getting a £300 trade in the shape of an Audi A6. This had a few EGR problems, the bodywork was okay, slightly higher mileage, but we were able to move that on after, you know, fixing a few things and cleaning it up, and using both the money from the Fiesta ST and the money from the Audi, we won a BMW E36 off eBay, a non-sunroof manual, relatively low mileage, relatively low owner car that had been sat in a barn for the last couple of years. We again recommissioned this, got it running and driving, got it MOT'd, cleaned it up, and sold it to a subscriber who is still enjoying this car today. We then used part of the money from the E36 sale to buy the ML500, the car that you saw last. Now everybody knows the fate of this. We did enjoy it thoroughly. We sold the cats off it, we had fun with it, and then we sold the physical car to scrap and used the money from that to buy what we've bought today. Ta-da! An E61 520D, a diesel variant of the E60. If you haven't spotted it already, I'll let you have a little think about what's broken. The back is a lot lower than the front, isn't it? Can you see that? That's why I've sort of parked it like this. We'll get on to why it's that broken at the back in a minute. You'll probably know if you've had a BMW from this generation, maybe an X5, E60, various variants of this chassis from this generation. Might look like this after something's broken, but I'll show you around it first, because there's a lot of cool thing about this I need to show you, and it's in really, really good condition. It's got 194,000 miles on it as well, so bear that in mind as I am showing you these things. So here we have it, my new to me E61 Touring. It is a 520D, so it's about 175 brake horsepower claimed from factory on this generation. It is a 06 plate, and as you can see, it's not actually an M Sport model car, but it does have a fantastic spec on it. I'm really genuinely impressed with whoever spec'd this from the factory. Yes, they didn't go for the bigger bumpers and the nicer bits and bobs at the front and the back. It has got some nice bits on it. It'll start at the front end, because as you can see, something with 190,000 miles on it, it's actually in genuinely good condition. Front bumper is okay. The only bit I've actually spotted is this scrape just down here. Now we're going to try and get that out with a body guy. Hopefully we'll be able to do something with that. I did look at M Sport swapping the front of this already, genuinely, on the way back, and then I got in bed and I was like, right, I want to look at stuff for it. So if you do have a front M Sport bumper, hit me up, send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook. I'd love to buy a similar silver and actually M Sport the front of this, because I think they just look a lot better. But condition wise at the front end, really, really good. Headlights are lovely, bonnet's in good condition. You can see it's, you know, been used. I actually picked this up from when the guy found out the problem and he basically dropped it home and then I bought it. That's sort of how it went down. I did go and previously look at this at his workplace, and he didn't want to accept my offer at the time, and then sort of thought about it and thought it was quite a good idea because yeah. And yeah, I did have a good look around the car, made sure it wasn't, you know, too bad. Dents and stuff, not too many dents. And if I'm correct with my information, this car was actually bought maybe a lease when it was new, and most of the mileage actually went on it at the start of its life because it was used in the real estate industry. It was actually used up and down the motorway. We'll get around the back. As you can see, there is a pan roof just up there, which is really, really cool, and non-M Sport rear bumper, but in really, really good condition. Bodywork is in actually fantastic condition. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt on it, it's being used. Other than that, once we clean it up, I think it would be a really nice car. But we'll jump inside, show you guys the inside, and then I'll show you what that problem is at the back. So, jumping inside the E61 Touring BMW. I've had a fair few BMWs on the channel. You guys have seen I've had an X6, we've had an M4. The funniest thing is, and get this, you'll love this, I pulled in last night, one of my neighbours actually came over to me and said, oh, is that your new car? I said, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, it's like the white one you used to have. Oh yeah, it's very, very different. She was like, how's it different? And I was like, apart from a couple of zeros on the end, quite a big difference, but also not, because I feel like BMWs, especially in this generation and the generation of my M4, say, there weren't a lot in it, if I'm honest. My X6, an 09 plate, very, very similar car. My M4 that I had, again, very, very similar. It's a similar interior, if I'm quite honest. It's just slightly more dated, I suppose. But I actually like it. I like the interior of the generation of this 5 Series. Banged on about it enough on the channel for me to actually put my money in where my mouth is and go and buy one, which is quite cool. So we'll show you inside. It has the wood finish going all the way round the cockpit. Don't actually mind it. I'm an old guy though. I'm you know, in my 30s now. I've owned Lexuses. You know what I'm saying? I quite like the wood effect all round. We do have heated seats though, which is a fantastic thing in one of these 5 Series. We have the glorious cup holders, the E60, 61, you know, this generation of 5 Series. That literally makes the car, in my opinion. Everything works as it should. The sound system's really, really good as well. It does have cruise control. It does have buttons on the steering wheel. It has pretty much everything you could want. Now, condition-wise, you'd think at 194,000 miles, this thing would be pretty wrecked inside. The passenger seat doesn't even look like it's been sat in. The back seats look like they've never been sat in. Genuinely, they look like they are in such good condition. The headline is in good condition. The steering wheel, I have driven cars, I have owned cars with 150, 160, 170, 180,000 miles. I've never seen a steering wheel in such nice condition for the miles, even down to the bolster. I'll show you guys the bolster on an overlay. It is in such good condition. It proves to you that this car has just gone up and down the motorway, being serviced, being looked after by its owner. And this is what I'm saying about a lot of stuff I shoot sometimes, and I harp on about it a lot as well, so sorry about the waffle. Apparently I'm the waffle queen, so we'll just carry on waffling for a minute. I feel like if you're going to look after a car, this is how it will be. It will present it in a really nice way, especially for the next owner. Or if you're willing to keep a car for the majority of its time, you will just consistently have a really nice car, which is what this is. Now we'll start it up, get the keys in my pocket. I forgot that this generation BMW, you put the key in and then you have to push the button. It's a really, really odd thing, if I'm quite honest. You just push the button, like, it just seems silly, but yeah, 2-stage start in theory. But starts up really nicely. And it is a super cold day today, which is a shame, but heating works as it should. I've already checked all that. The sound system, I'll use my other phone because this one hurts. Yeah, it's actually all right. It sounds like it's got a sub in it somewhere, but it hasn't. But that sound system is phenomenal. It is absolutely lovely, this thing. I am genuinely shocked that I was able to get... Wait for that siren to go past. Sounds like I live in a really dodgy area because there's always sirens in the back of my videos. I don't know how that is. But we'll do an inspection around the cockpit. So it's clean in there. You actually do have the compartment here for a phone. That's not there anymore. There's a siren in the background again. What is happening? We have a button in here, not really sure what that's for. There's some money, I can see 12 pence in the back, that's good. Usually I'd pick holes in the cars that I buy, but I'm really struggling to find a hole here. I'm really, really struggling. Also, another thing, huge thing in my opinion, it's got a pan roof. You can hear that bong. That's what we're gonna go on to now, the major problem. Now, we're gonna get into the bad bit. As you can see, the rear suspension is very low. These have, or this one especially has, air ride on the back. So it has an air compressor in there and an airbag at the back. That's failed. Failed quite catastrophically, as you can see, because it's on the floor. Now, they don't have air on the front, they only have air on the back. I had an X5 that did this many, many moons ago. We're talking 10 years ago now. And I know to replace the bag is expensive, but what I'm probably gonna do is actually change the air into springs. So you can actually buy springs and the cups for the back of these. And I think that's the way to go. Because of course messing around with the air ride is probably a great idea, but I feel like for longevity, getting this thing especially on the road, I want to completely cancel out the idea of it having the air on the back. So we're probably going to take the compressor out. I'm going to take the airbags out especially, mainly because again, one of them is completely dead. It's, you know, leaking or whatever's happened to it. It's just not happy this side. This side does air up, but leaks straight away out because the car is not happy. It's showing up warning lights saying it needs to go on a ramp and all this other stuff. So I feel like that's the right way to go. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Did I buy the right car? Did I buy a nice version of a high mileage E61 Touring? Should I convert it from bag into coil at the back and retain the standard ride height? And then what should we do from there? Should we put some M Sport bumpers on it? Should we put some wheels on it? Or if you have any of these parts, set of wheels maybe, cheap, that we can throw on this to make it look better. The M Sport rear bumper and the M Sport front bumper. If you have anything for this E61 BMW Touring, please let me know on Instagram. I'd love to buy stuff off of the subscribers on the channel. And again, if you do like this style of series, me going to pick up some random high mileage, inexpensive car to show you guys that these deals are still out there, let me know in the comments below. And then again, like the other cars we've had on the channel, I might keep it for a bit, I might trade it off, I might put it up for swaps, see what else we could swap this car for in the not so distant future. And I know a lot of people don't like that, it's fine, I understand, but if I could convert this into maybe a little hot hatch, plan here is not to make money out of some random person or a, you know, subscriber or anything like that. It's to enjoy cars, because that's what it's all about. But thank you so much for watching, we'll see you on the next one.